Year 3, welcome to today's spelling lesson. Today is the 1st of February 2021, and today we're going to be learning and introducing a new spelling rule. Before we do that, let's practice reading some of our common exception words. Now remember, you do not have to write these down. This is just reading it together with me so that you know how to say these words if you encounter them in your reading text or if you encounter them in any other spelling lessons, okay? So, early, earth, eight, eighth, enough, exercise, experience, extreme. Okay, so if you notice, all of these words start with the letter E. Okay, over here, we can see the ear sound, but it is pronounced with an So for early and earth. Earlier on in the term, we did cover this spelling rule where you see E-I-G-H and you pronounce it as A. So it's eight and eighth. Okay. And then you have a very tricky one over here. It's not phonetically plausible at all. It is the word enough. Okay. And then finally, we finish off with all the X words. So exercise, experience, extreme. Okay. So let's read them one more time. Early, earth, eight, eighth, enough, exercise, experience, extreme. Okay, these are all words that you will not be able to sound out. They're words that you just have to be able to read upon sight. Okay, so keep practicing those if you would like to. But let's get on to our new spelling rule this week. We are going to create negative meanings using the prefix dis. Okay, now, do you remember from last week, we created words using the prefix miss. That's right, it was M-I-S. Well, this week, it's negative meanings again, but now it's the prefix D-I-S, dis. Okay, so can you remember what a prefix is? Well, it's a letter or group of letters added at the beginning of a root word, which creates a new word and a different meaning. Okay, we've talked about this quite a few times. We've done miss, we've done un, and now we are doing dis. If the letter or group of letters goes at the beginning of a root word, it's a prefix. But if it goes at the end of a root word, do you remember what that's called? It starts with an S. Well, it's a suffix, okay? But that was just a quick review. Let's focus on the prefixes. We are going to concentrate on D-I-S this week, okay? So how many words can you think of beginning with the prefix D-I-S? Okay, have a minute, think to yourselves. Okay, and then we're going to move on. It is usually added to verb root words to give a negative meaning. It means opposite or not. Okay, so it could be the opposite of the root word or it means not the root word. Okay, this is the case in most words. All right. So remember, miss means that it was like the negative meaning. You were doing something wrongly. So misspell, you were spelling something wrongly. Mislead, you were leading someone wrongly. Okay? But dis now means opposite or not. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to be prefix detectives. You have to think, has the correct negative prefix been used at the beginning of these root words? That's all we have to do today, okay? Disallow. Does that sound right to you? Is that the right prefix? Could it be unallow? Could it be misallow? Okay, have a think about the word. And actually, dis is the correct prefix that we are using here, okay? Now, here's a little bit of a challenge for you. Pause the video. Can you use disallow in a complex sentence? That means a sentence which has a conjunction. So disallow, you don't allow something. It's the opposite of allow, okay? If you allow something, it means you're letting someone do something. But if you disallow it, you're not allowing it. Can you use that in a sentence? It's your challenge, okay? Or you can just move on with the lesson. Now, displeasant. Displeasant. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't, okay? The correct prefix that you should have used, this, yes, is unpleasant. It was unpleasant, not displeasant, but unpleasant, okay? That means something is not very nice. It's unpleasant. Okay, disobey. Does that make sense? Does that sound right? Does that look like a word to you? Or could it be unobey? Could it be misobey? Okay, have a think. Okay, it is the correct prefix. Now, can you use this in a complex sentence? Now, we all know what obey means. It means when you listen to someone, you follow the rules. When you disobey, you're not following those rules. You're not listening to an instruction. Can you use that in a sentence with a conjunction? So for example, the boy disobeyed his mom when she asked him to clean his room. Okay, that would be an example. Okay, disbehave. Now, I know we've definitely covered this word before. Disbehave. Does that make sense to you? Hopefully, you said no, because the prefix that we learned last week was misbehave. Okay, you're behaving wrongly. You misbehave. Okay, finally, disapprove. Disapprove. Does that sound right to you? Yes or no? What do you think? It is correct. Can you use that in a sentence? Okay, so when you approve of something, that means you like something, you're giving it the thumbs up. And if you disapprove of it, that means you're not agreeing with it. You don't think it's the right thing. You disapprove of it. Okay. Oops, sorry, there's a few more. Disresponsible. Now I have, do you think that that is a right word? Is that the right prefix? Disresponsible. It's not the correct prefix. It should have been irresponsible. I almost gave away the answer there when I was about to say I've never heard of the word disresponsible before. It is definitely irresponsible. Okay, now here are your spelling words for this week. Remember, they all contain the prefix dis, which gives them the opposite meaning. Can you please write these down? Sorry, can you please write these words down? Not write these down. Can you please write these words down however you would like to? I would suggest that you do it in your rainbow writing so that you are really thinking about each letter as you write it down in a different color. However, you can just copy down these words. Today's lesson is just to get to read the words and to write them down and just to familiarize yourselves with how they look. So either copy them down in pencil or use rainbow writing, because once you pick up a different colored pencil, it helps you remember the order of the letters. It will help you remember the words, okay? So dislike, disobey, discolor, discover, disappear, dishonest, disallow, disbelieve, disapprove, and discontinue. Okay, those are your spelling words for this week. Tomorrow we will look at what these words mean. Okay, so well done, year 3. Thank you for joining your spelling lesson today. Hopefully you are able to read and recognize some new words. Okay, well done.